Hey Rob, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Big fight, big name opponent. It's the last card of the year. Can you describe the feeling right now as the fight is just a few days away?
Yeah, I'm just ready. I'm excited to be back. It's been way too long, being tired of these damn year off layoffs, and yeah, I just want to get out there, put on a show, and break into the top five.
I want to go back a bit. They announced this fight pretty quick after he'd had that loss to Corey Sandhagen. Were you surprised by the fact that they offered his name so soon after his last fight?
Yes and no. My manager and Coach Tyson kind of like hinted at it, but wasn't like something that we were going after. I figured I'll get somebody closer to my ranking, but they threw his name. He gave me the call. I said yes, and now we're here. But definitely a little surprised at first.
Do you expect him to fight a little differently than usual because he feels he has something to prove after that disappointing loss?
Y- you know, we'll see. I know. I'm expecting him to kind of come together and try to like wrestle a little more, not necessarily strike as much as usually does, but we'll see. I know fighters coming off a loss, they're usually hungry. They usually change something up, but he switched camps. He's kind of on a skid right now, so that's kind of in my favor, and hopefully he doesn't change anything. I just put him away early.
I saw an interview you did where you said that you just didn't take advantage of some of those breakthrough opportunities in the past, like with Rafael Assunção. Can you talk about what you've done differently so that mentally and everything you are ready this time around with a big fight like Marlin?
With the like those opportunities, I think I was trying to be perfect and trying to do like everything by the book. I guess I'm gonna go out there and just have fun, do what I do, and look for the knockout as anywhere I see finish anything. Just get in there and try to put this guy away. Before I was trying to be too perfect and wasn't like taking as much risk as I should have. And now I'm just gonna go out there and just have fun and just take as many risks as possible.
Finally, just how do you feel you match up stylistically with Marlin and how the fight's going to play out?
Yeah, I think my reach, my footwork, and my movement is going to be a lot for him to deal with. At the same time, I want to push forward, get him tired, and look for that finish in the second round.
Thank you, Rob.
Appreciate it.
We'll take our next set of questions from Nolan King with USA Today.
Hey Rob, appreciate the time, man. I just want to go back to the injury that you talked about. Had you had something like this before in your career, or was this the first major hurdle health wise that you've had to come
Yeah,
overcome?
this is my first major injury. You know, yeah, first major injury. I haven't really got too many bumps and bruises even during training camps or anything like that. And this actually happened during the fight, but yeah, we bounced back, we recovered. I got a brand new knee, and yeah, that's past me, that's behind me.
Mentally, how did you overcome those hurdles that I'm sure uh, last year for you, you wanted to compete more and you were healthy, and then to go out there, have a good performance, and then have to be out for a year. So how did you deal with it mentally and kind of stay positive throughout all that?
Yeah, it was frustrating. It sucked. I honestly did not want to do the surgery. I didn't even think I needed surgery. I tore it in the second round, got through the third round, woke up the next day. We walked around DC, went to the zoo, did all that. And then once I got the MRI and went to see the surgeon, it was like a shock. They're like, "Nah, bro, you're out for a year or 9 months, and you need surgery." And I was like, "What?" I couldn't even believe it. But it's pitched for like 2 days. Got us, and then once we booked the surgery, did the surgery, and just got right back to work. I basically made rehab my new sport, my new martial art, and just put my head down and got to work. The the whole pandemic and the coronavirus situation kind of like slowed everything down, so it wasn't the worst. And at the same time, I got to tag along with Calvin, and so it kept me busy. So it wasn't the worst, but definitely it was frustrating sitting around watching everybody else fight.
And I know you hope this probably changes going forward, but December's kind of been Rob Font fight month the last couple of years. In terms of your skills wise? You know, how do you stay consistent and improve when maybe you're not fighting as often as you would like?
I was shadow boxing on one leg. I was figuring out ways to kind of like figure out ways to kick. Holding the couch, just figuring out different ways to stay active. Once I was able to kind of ride the bike and shadow box, wasn't the worst. I would watch a lot of film, watch a lot of fights. My man Mike Azanga hooked it up with the BJJ Fanatics, so I was watching all kind of jiu-jitsu videos, striking videos, and just staying busy. And then obviously training people at the same time. I was still teaching, doing private teaching classes. So I'm in the gym all the time, not physically doing it, but I'm still around. And then again, like watching Calvin rise the way he did, it was motivating and urged me to have that hunger to get right back to it.
Last one for me. You mentioned Calvin. I know you obviously have a big fight on Saturday. He has a big one in January. How important do you think this stretch is for you guys in terms of the New England cartel and really solidifying you guys at the top of your respective divisions?
Yeah, man, this is big. We got to go out there and obviously win these fights, and it brings us one step closer, bringing the belts back to New England, back to Boston, and obviously holding it down for the cartel.
Appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We'll take our next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Rob, you mentioned, of course, coming back from the injury, the last thing you want to deal with is that kind of time off. But when you get a name like Marlon Moraes, former title contender, top 5 or maybe top 3, I'm not sure where he's ranked in the division. Do you feel like that's almost like the ultimate present? Like you come back and you get a big fight like this, like it's almost not that it's worth it to be off, but like it's like the ultimate present to come back to this fight.
Yeah, man, an early Christmas gift. Again, it puts me right back in the mix. Regardless of who I fight after this is going to be a big fight. Once I get this knockout, whoever I fight after this is going to be a huge fight. So I just got to go out there and, again, put this guy away in impressive fashion.
This is obviously mixed martial arts, but I don't think it's any giant secret that both you and Marlon like to strike. Is there any part of you that, enjoys that part of the matchup, matching your striking against his striking? Because, again, that's kind of like one of those tests. When you look at a guy like Marlon, if you can beat him on the feet, that says a lot, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always trying to prove and see where I'm at on the striking. But, again, it's mixed martial arts. So if, he leaves something out there as far as like a neck or his arm, I'm going to jump on it. I'm going to take it. Any opportunity I get, I'm going to take and, make him pay for any mistakes he actually delivers.
If there's been a criticism or maybe a common theme with Marlon from some of his opponents, it's that he is a very, very fast starter, but maybe not as much for the longevity later in the fight. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you to give away your game plan, but is that part of it with him? You have to be careful with him early, but do you feel like the later this fight goes, the more it does favor you?
Yeah, I definitely want to push the pace the first round, wear him a little bit, kind of get in his face, make it a little dirty. At the same time, technical, if that makes sense. And then look for the finish definitely in second toward the third round. But like I said, man, anything happens. If I get the opportunity in the first round, I'm gonna put him away.
And last one for me, Marlon's style is so devastating at points. We've seen him with the head kick knockouts and the big knee he landed on Aljamain and things like that. And you do see some fighters when they face certain opponents like that, they come in almost, nervous, kind of, they don't want to engage them. They're kind of gun shy a little bit. You've never really been that way in your career, but you feel like that's a big key against Marlon, not showing fear in the face of, again, I know you respect his power. He's a very dynamic striker, but not showing any kind of like nerves or fear in the face of that.
Yeah, no, that's huge. You got to go in there and fight everybody the same way and just have kind of that fuck it attitude and just go in there and just, get your hand raised at whatever you have to do. Marlon's tough. He's definitely a fast starter and he definitely hits hard. But who doesn't in the UFC? Who doesn't in the top 15? So this is just another name, another opportunity, and I just got to go out there and take advantage of this opportunity.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
We'll take our next set of questions from Pablo Santamaria with Multi MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Rob. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the first thing I want to ask you is, you've been out for almost a year. So are you happy to be back in the octagon, and what we can expect from you?
Damn, I'm excited, man. It's been too long. I just want to put out entertaining fights, high-paced fights, and again, I just want to look for those finishes and get paid, man. I'm hunting for those bonus checks, so expect a fun fight.
I get it. So, what are your thoughts of Marlon as an opponent, and where do you rank him against all your opponents you've faced?
Yeah, man, he's a savage. He's been around forever. He's followed the top guys. Believe he's a former champ in the World Series of Fighting. Was what #1 contender, I believe, right? Obviously for the UFC. So he's a top guy, and being a guy like that just puts me right there. And I just got to go out there and again put this guy away because impressive win over him puts me right there where I need to be for that title shot.
Sure. Okay, there's also a big fight between Chito Vera and Jose Aldo. Who you got in that fight?
Honestly, I don't really care. It's Chito Vera, man. Come on, man. Like in Jose Aldo, so it's going to be an entertaining fight. I know that, but I'm not worried about that. I'm not even sure what their rankings are right now, but whatever fight gets me closer to the belt, that's the fight I want next after this one.
I get it. So, what's your prediction for this fight?
For my fight or Cheeto's fight?
Yes, for your fight.
Second round knockout.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Rob, and good luck on your fight.
Thank you.
We'll take our next set of questions from Jay Anderson with Gateside Press.
Hey, Rob, welcome back. I want to start. Do you have your dog with you today?
Say it one more time.
Do you have your dog with you today?
I don't have my puppies with me, man. I'm pissed. We couldn't get them out here, but next fight.
Is that because of the pandemic restrictions, or?
Yeah, definitely. They're not letting the pups in.
Bummer. All right. Well, I wanted to ask. I mean, you've been on the sidelines, kind of looking at all this go down over the past year. How do you expect to react to the empty arena? Are you going to miss the fans? Is this going to be better because you can hear the coaches?
I honestly think the only thing that's gonna be weird is the walkout. After that, I think once we touch glove, I touch him, he touches me. Pause. That didn't sound right, but once we get going and start fighting, I think it's going to be another day in the office.
And that last fight that he had with Sandhagen, did you see anything in that performance in terms of holes in his game that you can exploit?
Yeah, man. Sandhagen, he's on fire right now. He showed a lot. He showed a lot. What happens when you keep the range? You show a lot of footwork, and you go out there and you just be fearless. And I plan on mimicking that.
And speaking of keeping the range, then, I mean, how big a factor do you think that reach advantage you have is going to be?
It's huge, man. It's huge. But again, if I don't use it, it won't mean much. But so my plan is go out there and use the range, use the footwork, and then when I need to close the gap, I'll close the gap.
All right. Well, looking forward to it this weekend. Thanks very much.
Thank you.